Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Valecast. My name is Simo. Today, I'm joined by Callum. Say hello, Callum.
Hello, Simo. It's good to see you again.
Very good to see you, mate. 2 weeks on a bounce. Look at us.
I know, eh? It's becoming a bad habit, isn't it?
Yeah, stamped that out very quickly. Just to let our listeners and viewers know, this show is brought to you by our partners, Motive. So thanks very much for them to bring this show. Most Thursdays at 7:30 and the occasional Friday as well. What we're going to be doing this show is reviewing our match against Brecon at Princess Royal Park and looking to our fixture tomorrow, which is Bucky Thistle away. And there's quite a lot to talk about because we've just played probably, in my opinion, the best outfit in the league after watching their highlights, seeing their form, seeing their management set up, and seeing the players they've got in the squad. They've got available. I think they are the best outfit in the team when it comes to pure squad and together. And obviously that's where I think we should be aiming to be as a club. But Callum, you were at the game.
Mhm.
How did it go? I know it was a tale of two halves in terms of the first half. Craig says it. He put it down as one line. Is that in the first half we didn't we showed too much respect to Brecon, and then in the second half we came out and done what he would probably. I would say we probably did the job in the second half. What was your sort of view of the game?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think first half, and when you're coming up against a team like that, you want to hold it for as long as you can, just to kind of, ease into the game, kind of work each other out, see what the tactics are on both sides, and to concede a goal in the first kind of 120 seconds, whatever it was, is obviously a nightmare start for anybody. But no, I would agree exactly with what Craig said. To be honest with you, the first 45 sat back, sitting very deep. Um, didn't seem to be much kind of cohesion between the team, in all honesty. Not to kind of put the knife into the boys or anything, but defense to midfield to attack wasn't really kind of in sync. And to be honest, without a few, last ditch tackles, some good play from the back four, and Sean between the sticks as well, and it could have been a lot worse at half time. So yeah, 3-0 at half time was definitely a scoreline that didn't flatter Brecon. I think overall 4-1 probably did. Second half, we came out just totally different, really firing at them. Sam Robertson on the wing was spinning some really tasty balls, and
I seen some
um,
really good play from
I,
Sam Robertson in the extended highlights. Some really, really good play. There's actually
I,
it's the cross that Dane should probably put away. And on another day, it does. It's a difficult one to take,
yeah,
and it does just kind of dip over the bar. But Sam Robertson's play because he stops dead on, beats the man, and then gets his cross away. And it's not just like
mhm.
a cross that he's kind of got in there, but
Oh, it's
it's a
always a
good
good ball.
delivery. It's
Yeah,
a good
always whipped
delivery
in. Yeah, no, absolutely agree. I
on
think
our
he
right hand
was he
side.
was on good form at the weekend there, and as you say, we had a couple of chances in the first half. Dane had that kind of half volley that just went over. Rory Davidson had a shot on the turn as well. That, I mean, it did go over, a decent bit over, but again, another day those chances go flying into the top corner. So not taking anything away from Brecon, I thought they were fantastic. Particularly first half. Very aggressive team as well, I would say. Second half in
They are
particular,
daft.
some interesting
And
tackles going in, but
I've read in some match reports that they do just like to suffocate the opposition
mhm.
in terms of their pressing. It's not just that they're going to keep the ball from you. As soon as you win it back, they're going to immediately try and win the back from you, and they're not afraid to press outside their own positions and stuff like that as well.
Aye,
They are obviously a great outfit, and they do rate themselves. They've come into this league, and obviously they were going to look at whether they were going to be Lowland League or Highland League, but I think the plan for them, and I think they've made it abundantly clear, is they want to go straight back into the football league.
aye.
So they've not
That's the
wanted to
thing. You gave them.
skip a beat, and they're
Aye.
playing
No,
like
like,
that.
we talked about it, didn't we? Is it going to be Highland League? Is it going to be Lowland League? They don't want either, to be honest with you. I think the ambition that they've got, the group of players that they've got, looking through that starting 11 at the weekend, some of the players in there have been high level for a long, long time. Like Ian Davidson at the back, who just marshalled that defence superbly. Just watching on. As a Vale fan, it wasn't great to see, but from a neutral perspective, totally bossed the game, speaking to everybody around him, as any good centre half should, and as the skipper as well. So I mean, right through the team, obviously people like Michael Payton, who was their player manager last season and is now just focusing on playing. He kind of held that midfield position really well, which freed up folk like Cox and Gary Wood to get up top to bang in the goals. So yeah, take nothing away from them. A solid outfit. Second half, though, I would agree with what Craig said. We were by far the better team in the second half. Um, Oh, penalty for Dane's goal.
Both of them are
There
pens for me.
should have been another one. Yeah, absolutely.
Both of them
I
are
don't
pens
know.
for me. Watched them back. I watched the second one
Aye.
back a few times, 2 or 3 times. And even from the sort of, it's not the best camera angle, but I slowed it down just a wee touch. It's a pen. We should have 2 in a day. And there's a couple of chances that Dane should have put away as well. Which is, he's
And
just
there was
getting
us
sharp again.
singing his praises last week. We said, no pressure, Dane, and there you go. You're putting the knife in him.
Well,
again.
he's 2 and 2. He's 2 in his last
Well,
2.
yeah.
You still got to score it. I mean, I know it's a pen, but you still got to step up
Oh,
and
yeah.
beat the keeper.
And a
the
great
keeper
penalty
does
as
look,
well.
The Brecon keeper, I'm not sure what his name is, but he does look quite big inside that goal as well.
I think that's the young lad they got on loan from St Johnstone, Jack
Yeah.
Wills or Jack Willis, something like that. So
Yeah.
Again, good performance from him between the sticks, and I think Sean in our net as well was on top for him too. I mean,
Sean
you can
was
see
great,
4
actually,
goals
outside. The goals are like, so I think the fact that he's like pretty much, it's a scramble right in front of you, so there's not a whole lot he can do about it, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about the second half. I don't look at these games as thinking, right, 4-1, right, there's nothing to learn from that. There's everything to learn from that. We probably learn more from that, and I think we did learn a little bit from the Brora game.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't as tight as we kept the Brora game, because the game management, I think, when the idea is to keep it tight and get something from Brecon, when you concede them within the first 2 minutes, a lot of that kind of goes out the window, because you can't. It's not as if you can hold them off and try and bring them out to get a counter attack and stuff like that. And they know for a fact they don't need to completely overcommit to get by you.
Yeah.
And it's a different game. As soon as that goal goes in, it's a different game from the Brora game. We're not holding out, and I think the second half, where Craig's obviously, he's got them in. When he can actually speak to them, and what have we got to lose now? Go out and play your football, and go out them and go at them, and don't show them respect. We were showing them in the first half, and
I think that's it.
Look the difference. We look the different side, and then you think, right, we're capable of that performance in the second half. Whereas in the Brora game, we kind of fell off in that last 15 minutes when we were just really, we'd been run ragged essentially. Just our pressing was just relentless. We had to press, and Craig and Mo, they demand that for the boys. They demand a 90-minute performance. And I'm happy with the second half performance in terms of, we went out and we took a game to our league outfit and showed what we can do in a second half. If you divide a game's played in 2 parts, and for that, I think we were good enough in the second half. If we can whittle that down to like a 90 minutes against one of the sort of more established outfits in the league, we'll be right up there in seasons to come.
Absolutely. I mean, that game could have gone, either way. Say if that second penalty decision had gone our way, there was no intent to play the ball, so that's a red card as well. 3-2 against 10 men with 10 minutes or so to go. I'd take anybody on in that game. So I mean, the fourth goal, as I say, just adds a little bit of shine onto the result from a Brecon point of view, but. It is what it is, I suppose. But I mean, big props. I know we put out. I think we commented on Brecon's own post about the game. And I noticed the other day that Brecon kind of shared a story from Exec Secretary Stewart at Vale. So, fantastic travelling support. We called on the Vale fans to drown them out last week, and it was a great turnout from the Vale fans as well. But no issues to report. Everybody that we kind of spoke to was really happy to be there, and obviously a first experience on the road in the Highland League for Brecon. And obviously speaking to their management committee and like Craig Levine and all that. Really nice guys. So, we look forward to the return leg, as it were, and see how we get on down at Glebe Park. So.
I see the pictures of the videos. It did look cracking, and then obviously Kitman getting let me get his nice presence and being presented by a former Scotland manager as well is lovely, and it was a great day. And we spoke about this early on in the season, didn't we, Callum? That these first 3 games were going to be. We have a hard start of the season. We're by it now, and I think we can take what we did from Brora and Brecon, learn from it. And the vital thing for me is we had to go away in the middle of that and get the 3 points, and it was job done. Now we need to go away again off the back of Brecon and repeat that. We need to take what we learned from Brecon, and we're against a team that have started really, really positively in the league. They had I will say they had an easier start to the season though. It's on paper, absolutely. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows probably if our
I
teams
don't
were
think we
waiting
could have had
for.
a much harder start, could we? I
Yeah,
think,
we've
I mean,
had
it's
the.
good because it gets out the way early, I suppose. But,
Well, that's
I
it.
think you say that Nairn result's really important because I think if we were sitting on 0 points, from 3 games, and it's a
Yeah, it
different
was
look to the
of the
table.
three
So,
games.
yeah.
It's the most important. It's the one we had
Oh,
to get the
absolutely.
points in. Because if you look at those 3 games, thinking, oh, it's really three difficult games, especially considering the one in the middle is a away game. We're not even at home for it. You
Mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm.
yeah. In my opinion, it's we are not by any means in the worst of cases here. We've got like a run of games. We're not against anybody that's like really, really going to be forcing ourselves up. Obviously, Bucky are sitting, pretty at the top of the table, and obviously,
Goal,
I think
goal difference means nothing, does it?
goal
But
difference means nothing.
no, I know that Vale, myself and the rest of the Vale fans and Craig and Mo and everybody, what we've learned from the 3 games so far, if we can take out all those positives, and that's one question that I asked Craig on Saturday was, what positives can you take away from the Brecon game? And I think there were plenty, looking at that second half. So if we can take that performance, add in the kind of ruthlessness in front of goal that we had against Nairn, obviously a hard slog against Brora in the first game, but certainly lessons learned from there. We can roll that all together, get the guys, in sync and put a performance in. Then, an away trip to Bucky is not a daunting task. It's obviously a well-known rivalry that we have, and it's well documented over the years. But I think we can go into that game with every confidence of coming away with a result. It's not about just going to get the game out of the way and get it done and try and keep the score down. It's absolutely nothing to do with that at all. And as a club, we'd be doing a disservice to all of the fans if that was our mentality. We go into
Mm.
every game to get a
Yeah,
performance, a
we want to
result.
win.
So, absolutely, bragging rights are there as well. Obviously, with it
Yeah.
being the local derby for us. So, we want to go in there, give a good account of ourselves, and come away with a result that's taking the points back to Princess Royal Park, hopefully.
Well, yeah, I mean, we are obviously biased, Carl, aren't we,
Oh,
in terms of the
100%.
reporting here. Obviously, both
This,
Vale
this
fans,
isn't a
both work
Half
at
League
Vale.
podcast. It's a Vale podcast.
Honestly, yeah. Obviously, yeah. I want to say we have absolutely nothing to fear from that match. We've been up against the two teams that are going to be pushing for the title, pushing to get into the Football League.
Yeah.
We've done them already, and we've learned from those matches. We have nothing to fear. We got a good run now. These are the matches that Craig can really put a run together, and I think judging by the squad and stuff like that, and we're looking good. I think we're looking good. A lot
Oh,
of
absolutely.
positive. I know for a fact, the manager, the assistant manager's positive, the squad's positive. Sam Robertson as well, I think, had a much better game against Brecon than he did against Brora as well. And it was good to see the young man play very confident, because in all the highlights, I watched the extended highlights, so a good sort of 30 minutes of the game. Watched the extended, he was involved quite a lot. And allowed Ross to step out a little bit as well. And I would argue definitely that Brecon might have been the harder game. Well, is the harder game for us, in my opinion. So the fact that he's put in the performance against them as well, I think has
Such a focal point for the team.
Yeah.
In that attack. I think Highland League. You can see a lot of teams just playing down the middle. Not so much long ball or anything like that, but it is usually quite a compact kind of game that you get. But with Sam, he offers such tremendous width. His heels are stuck to that touchline half the game, to be honest with you. So it's great to have that output for the boys, and with him being able to deliver such good crosses as well, that will yield a great return. I'm sure we'll see goals flying in from Dane Bob and like Rory Davidson in support as well. I'm sure that the back of the net will be hit a few times from his crosses. So yeah, I think there's a great output there. As you say, it allows Ross Aitken to come further up the pitch as well. Last season, he was kind of more centre half a lot of the time, or maybe the right hand centre half of a back three. So was a little bit more restricted in terms of getting up the pitch. But he's shown what he can do at a right back kind of role as well.
Watching Ross in the flesh and in the right back, I like him in the right back, and
Yeah.
it speaks a wee bit about Sam's game as well, that he's able to step into that right back position. And his game is not just like speed and dribbling and crosses and stuff like that. He's got a wee bit more about that. I think when he sort of, he's a young boy, when he's got like the years of Ross Aitken, he'll be a really effective winger. Really, really effective winger. Yeah, but like you say, I much prefer Ross in a full back role because he can actually step
I mean,
into
we've got
into a midfield.
a fantastic array of choice at the back as well now. Which is something I don't think we've always
Depth,
had.
yeah.
I mean, you look at that right back role that Ross has just now. Other cover that we've got there. Kyle Willicks, who's been playing on the right, on the left, kind of full back role, can easily play over there. Courtney Cooper can come in and do a great job at right wing back as well. Looking into the middle, Ross Aitken obviously is one. Kev Adams, who's been around at the Vale for a long time now as well, and is a really steady head at the back. I like this new partnership with James Connolly and Innes Mackay. I think that looks really good actually. I'm
It does, yeah.
quite impressed with them to be honest. I've only seen them play a handful of times now, but already they look as though they could be great players for us this season. So good to see that partnership developing. Even in between the sticks, obviously Sean McIntosh has come in and kind of claimed the number 1 jersey early in the season, but we've still got a great goalie sitting on the bench at the moment in Gav Still, who had that jersey last season, and I'm sure will be pushing all the way to get it back, because he's done nothing wrong in my opinion either to get there. I think Sean's just come in and maybe just done a bit more, in training, and Craig obviously likes what he sees. Plus, Blanchy's not finished yet either. He can pull on the gloves when he needs to as well. Left back, as Kyle Willicks has been there for the start of this season. Harry Noble's injured at the moment, still to come back in. We've got other players like Aaron Hamilton who can kind of play across the back four as well. So it's really looking strong there. I really like the options that we've got, and that's obviously the start, the spine of the team. So if we can get the back four kind of gelling and clicking quickly, we've got 2 up front, with Dane and Robert, who can kind of play off the wing as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the lineup is on Saturday. I think Craig had a lot to think about after the second half. So yeah, but some good performances, I must admit. Despite the scoreline, I think it does flatter Brecon a wee bit. I think the Vale guys can be really happy.
Well, that's the thing when Craig and Mo did such wide recruitment that the competition for places at Vale right now is actually pretty fierce, and there's not a whole lot in it. Which is kind of what you want, you don't want nailed on people that without someone.
I mean, you look at the bench.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at the bench against Brecon. We had folk like Kev Adams there, but Grant Noble, who's been there and done it at Highland League level, a league winner as well. Great experience to have in the squad, and he's not getting a sniff of the starting 11 just now. So, younger players like Max Stewart, who I'm really impressed with, and some of the guys on loan, like say Mike Jameson and Hay and all those kind of guys. So really good performers. So we've got a really, really strong squad. We've brought in some younger players, which I think is really good to kind of sit alongside the more experienced heads that we've got. But yeah, I think it's the squad's in a really good place at the moment, and I know Craig's maybe still hoping to get maybe 1 or 2 more, just to kind of finish the set. But hey, if we stop where we are now, then fine by me.
Yeah, I would be. I think we're in a good spot right now for at least the next half of the season. I would say 100%. Yeah, and the partnership of Dane and Bob up front, I think as well. Now that we have these run of games, where we're not just playing the top outfits in the league, we can get some. Like, I want to see another Nairn performance personally. It's like against Bucky. But I think we've covered a lot today, Callum. I said in the last Valecast that I was going to make Bucky. I'm not going to make Bucky. I think I'm going to come to Princess Royal Park and the following week where we have Inverurie locals, I think. Is that right, Callum?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully both of us will be there. Give us a wee wave if you see us in the stadium. But thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for subscribing. Make sure if you have enjoyed this, you like and subscribe. And thanks very much to our sponsor, Motive, for bringing this show every single week. We've just crossed over the mark of 60 subscribers. We're growing quite quickly here on Vale for a Highland League Club media channel, and we're really enjoying all the engagement on social media. Please speak to us on the social media. We really do enjoy your engagement, and we really do appreciate it. But until next week, we will see you then on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Cheery bye.